everyone. This is Rod Santamassimo with the Massimo Group. And welcome to this session about strategies in this COVID-based market. During our time together, I'm going to share with you a couple of things. Number one, I'm going to share with you things we're seeing in the market. I'm going to challenge you about how prepared you were, what you're doing now that you've been through this last 3+ months. I'm going to share with you some things we're doing differently, because that's going to be a big word here, different and differently. I'm going to share with you what I'm seeing in the market from a success standpoint, what people are doing to reposition. And the last thing, I'm going to share with you something I'm so excited about, something I just created over the last 12 weeks that I think some of you would really, truly benefit from. So with that said, welcome to this session on commercial real estate success strategies in a COVID-based market. Now, if you have any questions, use the Q&A box. We will get to those. Use the Q&A box as I ask you questions along the way. You'll see when I ask you questions, it's your turn to engage. And that's the key word here. You need to engage. Now, for those of you who don't know who I am the president and founder of a company called the Massimo Group. I'm also the founder of a company called CRE Perform, where we assess natural behaviors in commercial real estate practitioners. I've been doing commercial real estate and a lot of other things in the last 30+ years. And I've written a couple of books that have done pretty well on the circuit in the commercial real estate space. And my new book, which is more of a general sales book, business book, that will come out in October of this year. We're so excited about that one. And that's going to be called Knowing Isn't Doing. And that's important to say that, because I'm going to share with you certain things that we're seeing working. You're going to share with us certain things that are not working. But all it is knowledge. Knowledge only takes you so far. You really need to, do it, to implement it in order to have the results. So as I share with you these ideas, understand you must implement. Now, a little about our company. We've coached over 2,700, actually it's many more than that, of your commercial real estate peers, 30 coaches throughout North America. We coach and have coached for the last 12 years virtually. So this idea of Zoom, we've been doing that for over 8 years now. But 30 coaches, hundreds of clients, lots of experience. And yeah, our clients on average out-earn their CRE peers, potentially out-earn you by 7x every year. Now, this was only fortified if you read the DNA of CRE report by Build Out and Broker List, and they talked about what the average broker earns. Our clients actually, the reason that asterisk is there, well, because last year our clients earned almost 8x the average broker. Yeah, they closed over $15 billion in transaction volume. They closed over $300 million in commissions. Their average transaction fee was over $43,000. And yes, their average annual gross income was over $849,000. Why? Well, because they implement, again, that word, they engage, they do the methods that we share. And I'm not sharing this with you to impress you, although based on those numbers, I think they're impressive. But to share with you, to press upon you that, look, I'm going to share with you the same methodologies. It's the implementation that matters. Now, some of you are saying no doubt, and I would too. So what? So what? That was last year. Things were different last year, right? And you're right. So over the weekend, what I did in preparation of this presentation is I looked at what we did since March 8th. Okay, actually since March 1st, because that's when the pandemic really started to flow in. For the last March, April, May, June, and through July, how have we done? Well, over 1,300 listings, over $73 million in potential fees from listings. We've sold or leased over 762 exact contracts or properties. That's under contract. That's another $32 million in potential fees. And finally, we actually closed almost, not quite, 1,956 sales or leases just in the past 3 months, and secured over $67 million in commissions. How does that compare to you? How does that compare to your team? Hopefully you're doing as good or better. Hopefully you are. But if you're not, because of this pandemic, because of this now COVID-based market, let's figure out what you need to do, because you can get to these levels. You can, because it's proven our clients do. So first things first, we've been here before. I looked at your experience based on the questions and answers. Some of you have been through 3 or 4 cycles, because you're like me, right? Some of you have never been through a cycle, and you're wondering, what the heck did I get into? First and foremost, this is what you got into. This is commercial real estate. We go up, we go down. We go up, we go down. 2008 was the last time we really went down. 2008, the stock market, well, it went down 53%. Let that sink in. You know, last couple of months, our market went down almost 30%. Big difference. It's come back. It came back quick. Not in 2008, 9 or 10. It took 18 months to recover, right? Unemployment, record high in 2008, absolutely record high now. No, we did not have a pandemic. No, we did not have this horrible thing called COVID. So I get it, believe me, I actually get it. So it's different, but we've been here before. Understand that. So for those of you who have been here before, what did you do? What did you do to adapt? What did you do to move forward? Not just survive. By the way, most people didn't, but what did you do to move forward and continue? Because most of your competition in 2008, in fact, almost 30%, they left the market. By the way, that's happening again right now. Good for you. You're sticking in there, you're hanging in there. Your competition is going away. Think about that. These are questions you should be writing down, and you should be thinking about hard after the session's over. Yeah, this is a roller coaster, folks. Commercial real estate, this is what you signed up for. We may like it or not, this is what you signed up for. There's good markets and bad markets. And you know what? Great. And I mean that. Great, because it's in the ups and downs, the ebbs and the flows that the opportunities arise. When everything is just normal, standard, strict, low velocity, nothing going on, maybe like right now a little bit in some markets, absolutely, not all markets. There's no transaction volume. That's not good. We like it when things are going well, obviously, but we also, as commercial real estate advisors, practitioners, we also have opportunities when the market starts to, well, like now, recede at the very least. So yeah, we're going to be here again. And because we're going to be here again, what are you doing now? What are you learning now to say, next time this happens, this is what I'm going to do? Next time this happens, this is what I'm going to do. Are you learning? If you're not, wow, what a wasted opportunity. Because you're going to be here again, folks. We all know that. So now some questions. And these are hardy questions you need to think about. I'm going to ask you to participate. Were you prepared? Were you prepared? Now I get it. Rod, no one was prepared for the acute impact that this had in a matter of weeks. That is true. However, we all knew the market was going to go down. And for those new to the business, sorry, that's the life we live. We all knew it was going to happen. Were you prepared? So here's what you do. Question and answer box. Give me 1 or 2 words. Sporadic or just consistent? So how was your pipeline pre-COVID? Did you always have deals consistently full? Deals coming in, deals going out? You were really working? It's just a cash flow of consistency? Or was it sporadic? Some good months, some bad months. You know, don't forget, this is the most critical piece, obviously, of your business as a commercial real estate broker. Don't use the chat box. Please use the question and answer box. Chad, again, question and answer box. So tell me how it was. How are you doing? Where were you? A lot of consistency. I love that. Congratulations. So you're always doing deals, always consistent. That is fantastic, right? Some of you, sporadic. Doesn't matter if you're a tenant rep. That has nothing to do with it. Either it's consistent or it's not. Your practice, your focus has no bearing on your pipeline flow. It doesn't. That's an excuse. I'm not being mean. I'm saying that's what it is. Look, I should share with you, I'm a coach. We coach thousands of people. I'm going to treat you like clients. So don't make excuses. What is it and why, right? What is it and why? Okay, if it's consistent, congratulations. Is it still consistent? If not, why not? If it's sporadic, it's not consistent all of a sudden, it's not going to be. How about your market presence? Were you invisible? No? Who are you? Never heard of you? Huh? Did just your clients know you? Or do you truly believe you were a market leader? That everyone or a lot of people knew about you in your market? Please answer that question. Were you invisible? Were you limited? Or were you a true market leader? How do you feel you were in regards to your presence in the market? A lot of limited, that's natural. Someone thinks they're a market leader. That's freaking awesome. Congratulations. Usually I hear of market leaders. So now here's the thing. Some of you market leaders, you might be. You just might be. Congratulations. Some of you might be wrong. You might be delusional. I don't know. Some of you may have more presence than you think you do. You might. But this is going to be a killer component as we move forward. How about your prospecting campaigns? Now, notice I didn't say prospecting calls. I did not say prospecting calls. I said campaigns. That's different. A campaign is an actual full campaign. Think about a presidential campaign, right? With ads and channels. And so everything going on. Did you have a prospecting campaign that consistently got you new opportunities or not? Again, be honest to yourself. There's no reason to hold back here. Be honest to yourself. Yes or no? By the way, I love the not yet. I love the confidence, right? That's perfect. Okay, fantastic, David. You're saying yes, right? So again, I'm asking about your prospecting campaigns. These are full-blown campaigns, folks, right? So, hey, Anna, great to see you here. I appreciate the note the other night, Anna. Thank you very much. Okay, let's move forward. Let's talk about your conversions. You get someone on the phone. How are you doing? How are you doing pre-COVID? Were you converting 10% of the time, 20%, or more than 20%, right? If it's less than 10%, just write 10% for now. That's fine. But let's say you had 100 calls, 100 conversations. How many conversations? We'll make it easy. Let's make the math even easier. You had 10 conversations based on what you were articulating, based on your value proposition, based on your opening statement, based on your ability to control the conversation. What percentage were you converting? What percentage were you converting? Lots of 20s, some 10s. Lots of 20s, some 10s. A lot of no answers. By the way, if you have a no answer, that either means you don't want to participate, which is unfortunate, you should, or you don't know, which is not what you need to be as far as a business owner. You got to know your numbers, because how do you know you can improve unless you know your numbers? How do you know if you're winning unless you're keeping score? I will tell you at the Massimo Group, and I always say this, those clients that consistently keep score, yes, we track metrics. They exponentially earn more money than those that do not. So think about that. How about your team? How big was your team? We all need teams. This solo practitioner, that's a tough gig right now. And it's going to be even harder moving forward. Tell me about your team. How many folks? This is one person in addition to you, two people in addition to you, three people in addition to you. How many people did you have on your team? What did your team look like? Okay. I'm not asking if they're good or bad. I'm just asking, do you have anyone? A lot of individuals on this call. A lot of individuals on this call. Some getting one, right? Some getting some. Beautiful. Cody, love the 10. That's great. Okay, congratulations. Referrals. How many referrals did you get each and every week. I find this is one of the greatest opportunities to go out and secure business that simply isn't leveraged. It isn't, because people, they just don't know or desire or afraid of how to ask for referrals. So we're seeing a lot of no's, some ones, hey, some threes. That's just awesome. That's just awesome. So some of you are out there just kicking booty. This is fantastic, right? But are you getting referrals? Are you moving forward? Are you asking? This is a great way, by the way, to get business going forward. Now, I know for a fact the last 12 weeks, a lot of you realized, hey, this is a thing called the internet. And then you realize, hey, this is a thing called social media. And then you realize, hey, there's this thing called LinkedIn. And I've always had an account, but I've never used it. And all of a sudden, I'm starting to have conversations. I'm starting to cultivate relationships. Heck, I'm starting to get leads and deals. How many of you are generating leads? And what does that lead look like? Number of leads a week from LinkedIn. Okay, a lot of you have accounts, but you're not using LinkedIn. I'm telling you right now, we are finding our clients, when done correctly, following the cadence, and here's the cadence, it's very simple. Content, that's your profile. If your profile is no good, it doesn't matter. Everything else doesn't matter. So content's your profile. Connections, how you ask for connections is critical. Cultivation, how you engage, the questions you ask, the conversations you have, all on LinkedIn. And last but not least, obviously, it's the close. This is where business is being done right now on LinkedIn. So having the app is nice. Having an account is great. If you're not leveraging it, you're missing out. You are. Let me ask you, what do you sell? Type in right now. If I say, hey, what do you sell? This could be, I'm an investment broker. I sell buildings. I represent tenants. What do you sell? What do you sell? For example, people think restaurants sells lunch and dinner, most restaurants, whereas many restaurants actually pre-COVID and now especially post-COVID or during COVID, let's call it, it's no longer lunch and dinner. And it wasn't before, by the way. It was always catering was their main revenue sources. United Airlines is in big trouble right now. They are. Why? Well, a lot of their income, not most, but a lot of their income has been coming from credit card services. You know, they always ask you to sign their credit cards. In fact, it's estimated that 1/3 of their liquidity was based on their credit card revenue. Well, that's not happening right now. And God only knows, traveling isn't happening right now. What they sold was different. What do you sell? What do you think you sell? Do you sell tenant rep services? If you sell everything, you sell nothing, by the way. Sorry. If you sell everything, you sell nothing. It's the way it is. Even if you're a tertiary market, we have many clients in tertiary markets. You have to be able to tell me what you sell, what you provide. Now, if you're relationship focused and just work with a certain number of clients and you're a seasoned veteran, I understand that absolutely works. I sell mostly myself. Okay. Am I going to buy you? I don't know. So let's talk about some of these things. Right now, there are three kinds of people. In March, this happened. It just did. Just like 2008. Panicked. Pure, unadulterated panic. By the way, if you did that, you're not on this phone call. You're just not. You are someone who is adjusted. You're still around. Those panicked, they're probably gone. They're out of commercial real estate. The next job they get will be a job and they'll be an employee. I'm not saying that in a negative way. I'm not discouraging them, but they weren't prepared for what was going to happen. They weren't set up in their business to sustain these hits. Because in real estate, these hits always come. Potentially petrified. That could be some of you. Definitely. You're petrified. Crap, what just happened? What do I do now? Where do I go? I'm stuck. That's okay. There's ways out of there. Or you remain productive the entire time. We've seen that. We've seen commercial real estate advisors who are just consistently earning more income, or if they're not earning income and the velocity's down, we've seen those same people say, you know what? Man, am I going to take advantage of this opportunity? And they realized it. And they've built out their entire business plan and the campaigns and the presence initiatives and the content. That's all they've done for 3 straight months, is working on their business, ready to pounce when the market comes back. Have you done that? Have you taken advantage of this big pause? Which one are you? Now this, I'm going to challenge you. This is a tough one. This is, you've got to admit something. You have to. Don't lie to yourself. If you're confident enough, and if you don't worry about it. It is what it is. If you're confident enough, share which one are you. Were you panicked? Depends who you were. Are you petrified? Not quite sure what to do? Are you productive? Man, this has been a great opportunity for keep on moving forward, keep on doing certain things. Which one were you? A lot of productive, lot of productive, lot of productive. In fact, most of you are saying productive, which is awesome. But then again, a lot of you didn't say you had consistent pipelines. A lot of you didn't say you were market leaders. A lot of you didn't say you had a team. So how are you productive without those resources? I don't know. There's some inconsistencies, just inconsistencies. Everyone on this phone call, 99% of you think you're productive, which is great. I love that answer, by the way, semi-productive. That's a nice one. And there you go. I'm not productive. I'm not petrified, but look, I'm not as productive as I could be. I think that's true for a lot of folks. I really think that is. So Dan, I applaud you for that. I'm not as petrified, but you know what? I'm really not as productive as I could be, right? And again, this is not in any way attacking anyone here. It's not. I'm here to help. I'm here to make sure you all get maximum productivity as quickly as you can. That's what I care about. So what was your biggest surprise? Think about this now. You've gone through this. We're continuing going through it. We're going to continue to go through this for many, many, many more months. It just is what it is. So what was your biggest surprise to date? Think about that. Don't answer it here, but that's something you have to ask yourself. Now, understand this. This is very important, very important. For you new to the business folks, it's not accurate. But for everyone else who's had more than 2 years of experience, this is absolutely true. In your professional career, this is the way it is. When you look at things on a quarterly basis, and we do quarterly reports and quarterly check-ins, you should have looked back at your second quarter. You should have said, hey, how did I do in Q2 2020? You should have. And please do if you haven't yet. It's still time. Please do that. So you can adjust and pivot and get ready for Q3. But this is so true. No time in your professional career has there been a quarter that's had greater disruption than Q2 2020. I don't care if you're looking at Q3 of 2008, Q4 of 2008, Q2 of 1995, 1990, probably Q2, all hard quarters. But this one was the most disruptive of your career. And really, when you think about it, it's just the way it is. This happens, right? So think about what happened in your business. What was your biggest surprise? Good. Hey, you know what? I was able to keep my all employees. Cheese and crackers, the thing called the US government started giving money away. That was a big surprise, right? Or you know what? My pipeline stayed full. Most of my clients stayed with us. Bad, I lost some employees. I had a furlough. I wasn't prepared. My pipeline's down. Or worse, oh my goodness, I can't pay my rent. Oh my goodness, I can't pay my mortgage. Oh my God, the stock market took such a big hit. Now, oh my goodness. You gotta reflect. You have to reflect. You cannot just put your head down and say, I'm going to figure this out. You got to reflect. You got to get your head up out of that sand. Okay? What were your clients' greatest challenges? Now you better write this down, and I mean it, because if you haven't done this yet, I'm sure you are, but if you haven't, make sure you're doing this. Do not assume you know your client's greatest challenge. Number one, they're changing every week. They are, right? Heck, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, I was feeling good. Today I have COVID. I wasn't feeling so good last week. Today I'm feeling better. That's just the way it is. What about your clients? What is their greatest challenge? The only way you can find out, by the way, is to call them up and ask each individual client. And if you haven't, someone else is. And they're taking care of that client. They're addressing those challenges. And you're gone. So here's the 3 simple questions you need to ask. And it's really simple. These are for those clients that you know. Clients that you know very well. Number 1, call them and say, hey, what's working? Very simple. What's working? Challenging times, incredible, unprecedented. Let's talk about, hey, what's working? Let them share with you some good news. Let them share with you, you know what? I can still pay my mortgage. You know what? Heck, I got my health. You know what? I had COVID, but I got over it. Hey, you know what? My tenants are still paying rent. At least 92% of them. Find out. Second question. What's keeping you up at night? Now, that's a hard question to ask if you don't know your clients well, if you don't know them personally, as you should. If you know them on a quasi basis, just ask them, now, really, what's your greatest challenge right now? What's keeping you awake? It's a really great question. Then shut up and listen and listen. And then while they're answering, ask the AWE question. The AWE question comes from the book, The Coaching Habit. It means, and what else? And what else? And what else? And just listen and find out what's going on. And this is the way it is, folks. This is what sales is. This is what consulting is. This is what coaching is. This is what servicing is. You have to understand your clients to understand how to help them. The more they talk, the more you understand. The more you understand, the better you can leverage that to assist them. I'm not saying you can take advantage of them or sell them. I'm talking about assisting them. And once you have those answers, obviously the third question is, okay, where do we, not you, where do we go from here? Where do we go next? What can we do? Or here's how I can help. Here's what we can do. Here's what we can do. You got to know those answers. That's your pivot. That is just starting your repositioning. Now, here's the thing. The more time you ask these questions to more clients, here's what's going to happen. You're going to get more data. More data, more content. More content, more messaging. More messaging, more exposure. More exposure, more leads. It's just the way it is, guys. And I apologize, ladies. When I get excited, my New York side comes out. Just the way it is, folks. The more data you get, the more information you get from your clients, really understanding their challenges right now, you can craft messaging around that for, yes, each specific client, but more so for your current clients and now your prospects. Now you have messaging to take to the market that will resonate. Hopefully you're crafting a value proposition that will resonate. And then you're converting those conversations to meetings, those meetings to opportunities. That's why this is so critically important. If you're saying to yourself, what can I do? Start here. If you're new to the business, ask your mentors, ask your seniors. What are they hearing? What are they learning? How can I help? Right? By the way, when I say ask your clients, some of you on this phone call know this is the way we do things at Massimo. I mean every freaking client you've ever worked with. I mean, go back to 1995 on a sale you did or a lease you did or a refinancing, and you talk to that person. Now, through the referral mechanisms, there are ways to apologize for the inconsistency, to say the least, in your communication, but this is what you need to do. You don't have anything called past clients in Massimo world. Every client is just an inactive client. So I'm sharing with you, based on the tenure you share with me, 10 years, 30 years, 40 years, 20 years, you have hundreds of clients you need to be calling now. Doesn't matter if you haven't talked to them in 5 years, 10 years. You need to call them now. You need to find out what the market's telling you. You need to take that information, you need to draft it, craft it, and put it in a messaging that works best for you. Okay, feelings. Everyone's feeling something right now. Frustrated, scared, opportunistic, positive, right? Invigorated, energized, and not so much those last two. Those are more challenging, right? But understand you have to tap into your feelings, because your feelings are going to come across in your prospecting. They just are. So I want you to always ask yourself, how am I doing? How am I feeling? Do you need a friend? Do you need someone to get you pumped up? Then get pumped up. If you need a buddy to check in every day and say, hey, I'm down, help me out, get pumped up. You know, I am so fortunate that I have people around me that when I'm feeling bad, I text them and they tell me, stop, right? Fortunately, I don't feel bad that often. But when I do, I'm feeling down, you know, I got real people slap me in the face and say, look at this, do this. We all have those issues. I want you to do that as well. I want you to do that as well. If you don't think you're feeling it one day, find someone to help you adjust. Get the feeling. If you need to, don't call, don't prospect, don't work. Take the day, take the week, just veg out. Most of us are tired of vegging out. There's only so much Netflix people can watch, right? So think about that. Now ask yourself, how have you adapted? This is a really important question, because this is what we're talking about. The adaptation, right? I'm adapting based on what I've consumed, based on what I'm learning. How have you adapted? Big question. This is a question that was asked of me by Mr. Chris Lee, one of the best commercial real estate strategists for REITs and organizations. I engaged him for my company, and he asked me this question, and it really hit me hard. So are you going to start doing things differently than you did pre-COVID? Right now, are you going to do things differently than you did pre-COVID? Because you need to. It's just that simple. You can't do the same thing. You can't go with the same offering. You can't go by yourself and say, hey, I can represent you in a lease, when your competition's walking with 3 or 4 people, an architect, a space planner, an engineer, and all talking about how we can make that space more efficient, more healthy, more economical, more safe. That's what your competition is doing. They just are. You can't walk into an investor and say, hey, I think, you know, what this COVID thing, it's time to sell your assets, when your competition's walking in with an appraiser, with maybe an engineer, a mortgage broker, and themselves saying, hey, there's a lot going on right now. Let's do a case sensitivity analysis and show you where your options are, what the best scenario is. Let's put you in position to make a more educated decision, because that's what they're doing. Now go back and listen to this recording, exactly what I said, because that's what you should be doing. You've got to start thinking differently, yes, but more importantly, you got to start doing different things. You have to. You have to offer to the market things that now impact where people are in their lives and the concerns they have. Going back with, hey, let's do a blend and extend. Hey, that was cute in 2009 and 10. It was all the rage. I get it. People are thinking well beyond blend and extend right now. They absolutely are. And if you're the one that can take the concept of blend and extend and package it differently and create a better scenario where you're showing, in order to do this, we need these people and these vendors and these service providers, and this is what we're gonna do to make sure you're in the best position to operate efficiently going forward in as safe environment as possible, then you're gonna stand out. You just are. You're gonna stand out. So just understand where you are. And yeah, I appreciate some of you sharing with me how you're feeling, overwhelmed, frustrated. What will your team look like? I just gave you examples of what your team should look like. But some of you tell me you're by yourselves or have one person. Great, perfect. By the way, when I say team, don't think big expense. Please don't think that. I know I wrote a book several years ago called Teams Built to Dominate. I still believe in that approach, but I'm more now towards a scalable team than the integrated team because I have evolved, my company's evolved. I see teams evolving. Your team can be like me. I have a researcher he's in Pakistan. And I use them every week. What does your team look like? What's your team going to be to best service your clients? What will the market know about you? He's a good guy. Yeah, she's really nice. Heck, he's professional. Or no, you want help? You got to call her. She's the one you need to call. She's the one with the solutions. She's the one that will take you and help you through this really crazy period. What will the market know about you? Again, if you went back and worked on your campaigns the last X weeks, don't worry, you have time. You definitely do. That's going to be different. How will they know about you? Most of you said, yeah, I think I know how to spell LinkedIn, but I'm not using it. Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, TikTok. Not TikTok yet. Instagram, letters, postcards, newsletters, email blast, everything matters. Your presence matters. We are going to be known more than anything else for our brand going forward. I invested in a day with Gary Vaynerchuk. If you don't know him, look him up, Gary V. Me and 12 people across the world came to an office and met with him. And he was right. He told us all, look, you compete not on what you do as much as who knows you. You compete on brand. So how will the market know you going forward? Who will be your client? Is it the same as pre-COVID? Maybe, but their needs are different. So where will these opportunities be? Where will they go? Again, go back to my initial question of asking your clients, right? And their issues and their challenges, then exponentially taking that information and going from there. And you see this direction, this picture, where I go, well, your clients are going to tell you where you need to go, where the opportunities are. You can't read Globe Street or National Real Estate Investor, although you should, don't get me wrong, and say, okay, now I understand. Because you won't. Your clients are going to tell you. That's where you're going to pivot. And that's how you're going to win more opportunities, without a doubt. That's where it's all going to be. So now during this big pause, some things you should be absolutely thinking about, because this is the big pause. Do some strategic thinking. Essential. Go back to your second quarter, think. Business planning, yes, definitely. Relationship building, yes. This is where everyone's having more phone calls. Heck, our clients are calling people on Saturday afternoons and Sunday afternoons and having the same conversations they used to have on Monday mornings. They just are, because every day is a Wednesday, it seems like. No one knows. There's no sports on TV. We're not doing it. We can't go anywhere. Relationship building is going to be key for you. Team building, we talked about that. Brand building, we talked about that. What else? Personal development. Cheese and crackers. Take a course. Do some training. Get a coach. Build yourself. You have to. You cannot stay where you are and think you're going to get more. Succession planning. Great time for you seasoned veterans. If you have not done a succession plan, if this doesn't tell you you need to, nothing else will. Yep. Start building your own investment portfolio. There's going to be opportunities out there, not necessarily right now, but sadly in the months ahead, which is good for you from a brokerage perspective also. Or yeah, take that overdue vacay, in this terms, staycay, do it. Camp out in the backyard, right? Go crazy, learn a language, do something, but enjoy the pause, but take advantage of the pause. Be better coming out of this than you were going in. Now, this is important. I can't think in the future, I pray in the future, you never have a time like now where you can reflect, review, and reposition your career. Let's hope this doesn't happen, but take advantage of the time. Absolutely. Are you taking advantage of it? What keeps you up at night? What keeps you up at night? What makes you toss and turn? These are the things you have to address. What are the greatest challenges that you're facing today? Don't share those. Don't. You know what they are. You know what they are. But then you got to act upon them. Don't be the petrified, be the productive. So, again, let's get back to how you're going to adapt. How are you going to grow your market share? Think about that. Are you going to do what you've always done in the past? Well, guess what? That's going to be the same results. And this idea that practice makes perfect, that's the biggest farce I ever heard. It doesn't. Practice makes permanence. It does. Whatever you're practicing again and again and again, that's what you're doing again and again and again. And if you're giving the wrong pitch, or you're putting out the wrong letters, or the wrong messaging, guess what? You're not going to get anything back. You have to recognize that now it's time to change. Now it's time to adapt. Now it's time to pivot and put forth the right efforts, put forth the right practices, and then perfect those and make those permanent. Because what you're doing right now may or may not be what you need to be doing. So again, our methodologies, what I'm showing you today, all are creating opportunities. I've given you some key things you need to start doing. We're going to do different things. We are. Going forward, we're doing different things. What I did was I realized, heck, I built this multi-million-dollar company from 2008, the last recession we had, when I was by myself on a 6-foot table. And now we have thousands of clients. And yeah, I guess I'm lucky, I don't know, but gosh knows I've worked my butt off. But we want to help folks just like you. And so what we did over the years is we've actually built over thousands of 6-figure individual businesses. Now, in commercial real estate, that's not too hard. That means you're making $100,000, $200,000, $400,000, $800,000, $900,000. We built thousands of those. We built hundreds and hundreds of 7-figure businesses. Those are the $1 million plus producers. And yeah, we even created some 8-figure individual businesses, 10, 15, $20 million commission businesses. And how I do that? Well, I applied the same methods that I built my company on. You know, I was by myself in 2008, hoping to make $1. Today, it's 2020, a long time, but with 40 people, lots of support, no doubt about it. But yeah, figuring out how to consistently build cash flow. So maybe you hit a plateau. Maybe you want to earn more. Maybe more importantly, you want to earn some free time. And that's what that's my whole goal in life now, is just to have more margin. Margin means time with my family, my kids, myself. And yeah, back to my health, which is ironic. You know, I recognize that right now you all might be looking for solutions. So I want to tell you how I adapted. So here's what I did. Over the last 12 weeks, I took the complete inventory of what we do and what we do best. You know, how we have the greatest impact on our clients, both financially and personally. I wanted to figure out how we did this. And then what I did is I built the most comprehensive group coaching program I have ever built. And then what I did then is I realized, look, things are tough. So let's take our coaches and let's provide more coaching than we ever have in a group format. Let's provide more coaching than we ever had before. And in fact, let's give people all the content they need immediately. Don't drip it to them like we did in the past. This week, we're going to talk about this. And next month, we're going to talk about that. No, you all have different needs. I want to get you access to all our key content right away. And finally, I know things are tough. I get it. I understand it. So let's put it at an investment level where anyone who truly wants to start building a commercial real estate, highly profitable personal practice, let's allow that. Let's put in an investment level that anyone who's committed to moving forward, yeah, let's move forward. I get coached all the time. I do. I have, heck, 3 coaches right now. I get help. That helps me grow. Every business gets help. So why not you? Why not now? So I want to introduce you to MASSIMO.COACH, which is our latest and I think the greatest group coaching program I've ever developed and that I've ever seen in the market. So here's what it is. I'm going to incorporate the high impact content from that was only previously shared with our one-on-one clients. And even today we had 2 or 3 one-on-one clients sign up who want to move their business forward. And if you're, by the way, if you're a high producer, if you're making 400,000 gross income, 300,000 gross income, then you're more of an elite one-on-one client versus a group client. You just are. But if you're not that, then that's what I did. Our elite clients, yeah, they spend tens of thousands of dollars to work with one of our coaches to build their business. And I told you about what the results were in 2019. I shared with you what the results are since the pandemic. So here's what I did. I added the Massimo Go platform. That's about $1,000 in value. And I said, you know what, let's add more to that. Let's give you our total business planning modules, understanding how to plan your business correctly. Let's give you our new referral module that up to today, only our elite clients got. How to go out and get referrals, understanding the psychology of referrals. What are the scripts, the specific scripts to ask 5 different audiences to get more business and build your referrals? How do we make our days as productive as possible? How do we get our calendar set where we know every day we're making money? We're moving forward. I threw that in there. Prospecting modules, I took the kitchen sink and I said, you know what? Let's give them almost everything. Let's do it. Let's tell them how to create a value proposition, how to create an opening statement, the different kinds of opening statements that are working today, how to control conversations, how to figure out who to call, what to say every day for a year. I threw that all in there as well. I said, yeah, let's give them that. Presence model, some of you said you had limited presence or you had sporadic presence. Well, let's get you to be top of mind. Let's share with you how to get this done, how to become the brand that's going to make the huge difference between today and tomorrow. What Gary Vaynerchuk told me, Rod, it's all branding. So some of you may say, Rod, you put out too much content. In fact, we learned there's a measure of content for a firm our size. At one time we did too much. Now we're doing just the right amount. We figured it out. Do you know what that is for you? LinkedIn modules, brand new, built it out, figured it out, how to go out and start connecting, cultivating, and closing people on LinkedIn. That we're going to include as well. Oh, and our growth module. Once you get all these killer content working for you, working and doing consistently, where do you go from there? How do you grow? I threw that all into the program as well. Oh, as I shared with you, instant access to all the content. And going forward, we're going to have 2 weekly live coaching calls. 2 weekly, not 1 a week, twice a week. So as you digest the content on your cadence, your race, your pace, and you have questions, go to the live coaching calls. Ask our coaches what you should do. By the way, these are Tuesday at 1 and Thursday at 7 p.m. By the way, just like this webinar today, Tuesday at 1, Thursday at 7 p.m. Because we know we have clients now all over the world. We're fortunate, but we want people really to have access. You can jump on 2 calls a week if you want. Oh, by the way, not 1 coach, but 2 coaches in every call. And by the way, 2 different coaches in every call. That means you have access to 4 coaches. And also, I jump on these calls once in a while. You'll have access to up to 5 coaches helping you build your business. Yep, we have an exclusive Facebook community where those that are involved in this community, they ask questions, the coaches give answers. So you have access to coaching outside the calls. And guess what? We're going to give you access to our Massimo webinar library. Think about that. How many webinars have I done in the last 12 years on every topic you can imagine? Prospecting, presence, production, productivity, team building, and it goes on, CRMs, it goes on and on and on. I think right now there's 80, 90 pieces of content in that library. You get it all immediately. Should you say, hey, this is something I may want to do? By the way, I built the program out for 12 weeks that you can go, if you work every day and really hard, you can go through it in 12 weeks. And by the way, you're going to have 12 more weeks at least. Let's face it, folks, during this pandemic, to work on your business. You will. But instead, I'm giving you 6 months. 6 months of access to all the content. And even if you get through the content before then, come back to the coaching. Ask you questions. For 6 months, access to it all. And by the way, we've been doing this for a couple months now, where I've taken calls and others taken calls, and we've had a group, a beta group doing it. And I've recorded all those calls, and you get access to that. In fact, if you miss a call going forward, we're going to record them, and you get access to that. So don't worry about missing a call. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to take the best of our one-on-one platform. Now, some things I'm not going to go over, like presentations and team building, because right now you don't need that. What you need to do is work on your business, work on your individual business. And then I give you all this additional access and certifications and coaching and just content, all there for you to consume if you wish. By the way, if you decide you want to do this, and you're one of the first 5 to say, yep, I'm doing it, I'm going to throw in a natural behavior assessment from CRE Perform, and then I'm going to go over it with you. You and I will go over with you, those first 5 people, how you're wired. I'll look at your business, talk about your business. I'll tell you what to focus on during the coaching, and I'll help you out. Now, I don't do this. I don't coach. I only coach one person, and he's one of those 8-figure producers. I don't coach individuals anymore. But for the first 5 registrants, yeah, I'm going to coach you. Okay, so here's the question. How many deals are you closing in a year? And how many more deals would you secure if you had all these tools and all that coaching? How about your average commissions? How much would your average commissions grow if you had all these tools and all the coaching? How does this change your business? Your business with all these tools and all this coaching? How does it change your life? More money, more time. From absent to present. From chaotic to clarity. From frustrated to confident. Think about the impact it would have on you. Think about the impact it's having on our clients right now. So again, the new MASSIMO.COACH program is all about providing you the opportunity to invest in yourself, invest in your practice, invest in your family, invest in your life. And we're going to give you all the content over the last 12 years that works the best and give you total access. As well as those first 5, they get a call with me. This is what you do. If you think you're going to finally build that business and life you've always desired, go to www.massimo.coach and schedule your strategy session today. You can schedule it next week, schedule it the week after that, probably not. Those 5 slots will definitely be gone, but schedule today. Now, if you're still with me, and you're serious about moving your business forward, this will not be on the recording. So I'm going to end this first, and then I'm going to take questions, and then we're going to stop the recording, and then I'll give you something else. So if you're interested, this is where you schedule your strategy call. Massimo.coach, not .com, .coach. Go there now, schedule your call, and one of our program directors will reach out to you and schedule a call and move forward. And we'll get you to that point you need to be. It's not about where you are yet. It's not about what the price is, what the investment is. It's about where you are. Some of you may not actually qualify for this program. And we'll think about another program that may fit your needs. I will guarantee you we have a program for every budget. We do. Some of you just might go to our membership program. Some of you maybe for our elite program because you're really kicking butt and or want to transform your entire practice. So Massimo.coach is where you go to schedule your free strategy session. Do it today, and let's start building that life and that business you always desire.